I really thought BlueBeam, for all practical purposes, was, let's say, a glorified PDF writer. I underevaluated and didn't know its potential. It's like driving a car and never knowing there's anything other than first gear.
If you work in construction, you've probably heard of BlueBeam Review. It's now a construction industry standard, but there are still those in the AEC industry who don't know what it is or what it does.
BlueBeam is an industry leader in terms of AEC software. Our flagship product is BlueBeam Review, known historically for PDF markups and document collaboration, which over the years has become a little bit more than that too. More access to drawings in the field now, more access to real-time collaboration with other stakeholders on a project, and most importantly, the most advanced markup capabilities on the market.
BlueBeam is used in a wide range of industries, including construction, architecture, engineering, manufacturing, and energy-related companies. The built-in tools and functions provide users in these industries a sleek and powerful tool to get work done quickly. Because of this, many AEC professionals have switched to BlueBeam Review as their default PDF software.
BlueBeam is an efficient way of creating a set of documents that can be managed, marked up, and distributed to a design team or teams across the globe, and then utilized to basically bring in that information back into one central location. As an architect, I can mark up a set of documents in BlueBeam and issue them out to different individuals, collect them back into one comprehensive file, and see all the document markups and review comments from all the individuals. So I'm not opening up and closing file after file and comparing two separate files. It combines everything into one. In addition to that, if you're a subcontractor, you have the ability to take the set of drawings and not only mark them up, but do quantity takeoffs. BlueBeam gives you the opportunity and the tools to take accurate quantity takeoffs on piping, square footage, anything that is in the built environment as an estimator to get a better evaluation of what it is that I need to purchase and how much of it.
So we're proud to bring that to Applied Software and to partner with them and for them to offer that as one of the many solutions that they have to their customers.
One such customer is Ripa and Associates, the largest civil and utility contractor in Tampa, Florida. With construction operations serving all of Central Florida, Ripa and Associates needed a more efficient workflow that coordinated in-house departments with expansive field operations.
Ripa is a site contractor that's been in business for a little over 20 years. What they do is, the easiest way I explain that to people is we build infrastructure from the ground down. So if you were in a residential neighborhood, everything but the houses. That includes the earthwork, the utilities, whether it be the sewer, the storm, or the water, or the roadways, including the pavement and the curb, and all the ancillary items that go with that. So there's a team that with any project, so you'll typically have an engineer who is a civil engineer. You have a geotechnical consultant, they handle all the materials testing. You'll have a surveyor who does the planning and layout of the work to be constructed based on the plans. You'll have an owner's rep who you're building the project for, and you'll have a site contractor, and that's what we are, and for what we do, civil and utilities. So the company itself carries multiple licenses as a general contractor, as a utility contractor, and as a fire contractor. Those licenses are what pretty much are required for the disciplines that we do. Utility-wise, we have quite a number of crews and subcontractors that perform that portion of work. But a typical construction cycle for us is earthwork is completed first, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, water main appurtenances, reclaim, and fire main to go with that, and then road construction. So in pretty much that order for every job, because you think of it as building the layers of a cake. We start from the bottom to build to the top. So we start with the earthwork and we finish with the road work. We pride ourselves on being pretty turnkey for all the different disciplines so that they can just hire one guy to handle all of those things rather than hiring 5 specialty guys and having to coordinate all that. I've been in this industry for about 20 years now. I can remember a time where it was either done very manually, where it was two plan sheets compared side by side, and you had to visually pick up whatever it is that may or may not have changed, that the engineer may or may not have clouded for you as a revision. Also using light tables, where you had a table that shined light through a set of plans, and you overlaid two sets of plans, and you hoped that you could figure out where it was ghosting and not. I remember having to delegate to people of, here's one plan set that I've highlighted, go print 5 more and take every highlight I've done on these sheets and put it on those 5 sets of plans. And those are going to be for distribution. Creating forms didn't happen. Digital signatures, not a thing. A lot of the tools, takeoffs were manual. We've always joked with the estimators that estimating is counting and coloring, and because it was taking a set of plans and physically getting a notepad or whatever and counting things and coloring it in when you counted it, and hope that you counted and colored everything that's supposed to be there, because you're going to be responsible for bidding and buying it and installing it. So those dynamics have changed radically with the use of BlueBeam. I describe it to people who aren't familiar with it as it's Adobe on steroids. It's an amazing product, to the point where I first experienced using it about 8 years ago at a different company that I was working for at the time. When I was hired here, I made it a requirement of my employment that I be provided a copy of BlueBeam.
Don had used it in one of his previous companies. We had been using Adobe for a while and doing markups by hand on paper. It was one of those things that we knew we needed to find a technology that would do it. What was going to be the best one? BlueBeam was in the running. There was a couple other ones that we went out there and vetted, but it seemed like BlueBeam did everything that we needed to do, if not a little bit more. I liked it. So I'm an IT guy at heart, right? So more on the technical side. It seems to be a lighter package, seems to be running a little bit smoother on the PCs. It's not a resource hog like Adobe can be. The functionality went there. So from my standpoint, the technology standpoint, it was very easy to standardize and deploy. The license renewals are very easy to work with, stuff like that. Price point seemed to be right on par. Support is great, which I love, right? I can't answer every question. So if I'm not able to, they're very easy to work with and kind of go from there.
Within 3 months, we had 8 copies for the heavy lifters here. And shortly thereafter, every key person in the company was trained on it and was using BlueBeam. And they use it daily. We coordinated with the IT manager at the time. He then attended some conferences. He came back with knowledge and performed lunch and learns where there were beginner sessions and intermediate sessions and expert sessions. And the more comfortable you were with the program, the more you would get out of it and the more you could streamline your workflow. So training at Ripa is not just lip service. It's something we believe in, and to the point where we really invest in it with training and cross-training.
So as far as the training, we ended up reaching out to Applied, and we were able to set up individual classes. The way that we did it, and unfortunately we kind of started doing it right during the COVID time, instead of actually having somebody come on site, we were able to do kind of a WebEx, right? So we set up a meeting with them. They came, basically webbed into our system. I had a training room, about 10 different gentlemen, and we basically walked through a 2 to 3 hour training class. It was very nice working through the process. They gave me a list of basically every topic that we could cover. So Rick Kramer was our trainer, very top notch, right? So he was very knowledgeable. He's able to answer any of the questions that I have. Pretty funny, right? So he's able to kind of keep the class moving. Sometimes you get in there and the instructors just kind of drone on and you can lose some of the class. So a combination with him kind of throwing out jokes here and there and kind of keeping us entertained, as well as having the hands-on capability of them using the laptop, really just made it a better experience for the users.
I'm not a salesperson. I'm a tech guy. At the end of the day, I want to help you succeed. Well, that means I'm better connected to the people that I'm serving. I'm not someone who just learned the application from the book and have no context on how to deliver the content and what it means at the end of the day for architects to produce a set of construction documents. Basically, my mantra has always been to work smarter, not harder, using the tools at hand.
So basically the way the training went, first day, had everybody in the room, walked through the training, recorded it. It was live question and answer, very good, very interactive. They provided us data sets. So when we were walking through the training, it wasn't like you were just sitting in a class watching the screen. We actually had computers set up to where the end users could walk through the process with the trainer. And now I will tell you there was quite a few functions in there that we did not know existed, right? So we love those new features. And there was quite a few features that we were not using to the full capability of what we could use them for. So it was a lot more hands-on, and I feel that my staff just got a lot out of that by being able to use the program while they're doing the training.
I'll be perfectly frank when it comes to BlueBeam. When I started, I was quote unquote the expert because I was the only one who knew it. Within 3 months, we had people who were doing things that I hadn't seen or used the program for. It was very exciting for them to share that knowledge with other people. As they did so, everybody started using it more and more and more with the, hey, did you know it could do this? Hey, did you know it could do that?
So the training aspect is a big part of the software. Basically, any new user that comes into our building, we have preset videos that we've worked with Apply. They've allowed us to be able to record the videos to produce and distribute in the future. Any new person that comes on with the company, we'll have them sit down and spend a couple hours going through just to make sure that their level of knowledge is kind of equal. Basically set the base standard of knowledge across the board, and then we kind of go from there. We've also made the training videos public to anybody here at the company, and what we did was we took the syllabus and actually broke it down into almost chapters, right? So if you're looking for one specific thing, instead of watching the 2-hour video, you can kind of really just jump to that one specific point that you're looking to, kind of listen to them talk about what they need, and then you can kind of go back to your job.
Applied software gives our customers the ability to champion innovations by utilizing the latest, greatest tool sets, by giving them the ability to use those tools in their best capacity and moving forward with the technology.
We started implementing that when some of the ancillary uses of BlueBeam were being done with the estimators and the project managers. And then the value of that was one of those, well, wait a minute, this is a function that the administrators do in this department. Why wouldn't they get the benefit of using that? Contract reviews. That's a specific example, whether it's editing or, redlining documents or, things along those lines. They're not just for viewing and doing takeoffs and plans. It's because the document side of it, it's pretty much two programs in one when it comes to that. There's the construction side of it, whether it's architecturals or civil drawings, and then there's the document control portion of it. The digital signatures for securing documents kind of makes more sense with the digital signature. Just from an admin level, they don't have the same level of ROI. However, the efficiency is still better than it would be using the tools that they were previously. When you bring in, your accounting department into using BlueBeam, they're never looking at plans. That's not what the program would be used for them, but they can look at it for creating digital forms, digital signatures, comparisons, document overlays. And so as we rolled it into the different departments, we would see that, BlueBeam still met all those needs. It was just a different training session based on your, end user. Every single department at Ripa uses BlueBeam. The ROI for us was instantaneous. The product is priced better than its competitors. We dabbled into it and had a handful of licenses that we put in the hands of our heavy lifters. And I was very proud to have one of the project managers come to me within a week's time and say, hey, I just want to show you what this thing did. I overlaid these plans that I had a narrative from the engineer and the clouded revisions and caught that this stuff was not in clouded revision nor on a plan detail. That would have cost us about $20,000. We would have built it. We wouldn't have been paid for it because it would have changed and the surveyors would have picked it up And we would not have understood where we missed on that particular project and that item. That was the very first wow, I gotcha moment from that guy. And he was hooked at that point. And then when that information gets out to everybody and it becomes a standard practice, the ROI becomes exponential. We were very proud of being able to give our key people the tools they need to do their job, regardless of where they are, to be able to do their job.
Welcome, this is Project HD, a future Home Depot distribution center. It's a tilt wall construction building that we're assisting with. Ripa is responsible for all of the site work, which includes clearing of the property, roughly 60 acres, all of the grading work, the earthwork. It also includes all of the pipe work, sanitary, storm, water main, and fire main. So a big software tool that we use is BlueBeam. The biggest advantage of BlueBeam is twofold. We do our entire site takeoff using BlueBeam and ordering all of our materials such as pipe, storm. In addition, BlueBeam is great at communicating ideas, drawing markups, executing plans, and having easily available, readable markups that can be either on a tablet or you can print off and give to our guys in the field that we can all discuss and have a point of reference of our game plan, a visual display of our game plan. And BlueBeam is extremely easy to develop these markups. One of our biggest risks of being a site company is we have a relatively small management team versus a large workforce. So communicating ideas and plans from the office to the guys in the field can be difficult, to clearly communicate it. So being able to create quick exhibits, markups that can quickly be distributed to the guys in the field, instantaneously using email, is essential to us getting the information to the field timely and accurately, and it helps us avoid a lot of miscommunication. So in the field, using BlueBeam, you can do quick takeoffs to summarize what our guys have completed in the field. That assists us in the office with billings, estimating the remaining amount of material that needs to be brought to the job site. We can quickly get a visual display from the field when they mark up what's been complete and sent to the office. BlueBeam is essential in overlaying old plans versus new plans and determining what changed really quick. We can disseminate that information to the field real time so that the guys can adjust, and it's extremely helpful in providing backup for change orders and generating change orders. It's an all-in-one tool to help communicate progress on any given day.
For what we do and the changes that we receive, at the pace that we get them, we have to have accurate information in a timely manner, and that's what this allows us to do. It literally takes what might have taken days or weeks to compile and review and check and double check to minutes. That can be done by a trained person and then distributed for review and reconciliation afterwards. And then we can make real business decisions based on that. We utilize it both internally, externally, remotely, or office-based. It's a key tool on our tool belt.
I think that someone who doesn't use BlueBeam is really shooting themselves in the foot. Especially in the industry that we're in, where you have a lot of plan changes.
If I was being compensated by BlueBeam, I'd be a very rich man. For the fact that I've recommended it to every client, every owner, every competitor, every person that I can possibly imagine, because it's that powerful of a tool. If the company said that they could no longer pay for the licenses for BlueBeam, I would go out and I'd buy it for myself, and I would use it. I'd continue to use it out of my own pocket.
I can say with full confidence that anybody who does go to Applied Software is going to get the best experience that they can get, not just for BlueBeam, but for AEC software in general.
So Applied's been great. So we ended up getting an email. We got invited to they were doing an event function at one of our local businesses, and they were coming out there and really talking about it. So once we went to the meet and greet with Applied, I thought it was a no-brainer, right? I can get cheaper pricing, I can get better support, and you get that personal connection. So my service representative is Tiffany. She's been great to work with. Reaching out to me every couple months, make sure that everything's still working, make sure we don't need anything. She's the one that'll provide me all my quotes. and she's the only one that I deal with. And you get the interaction with the one-on-one, right? They know our account. She knows how many licenses we use. She'll reach out to us and give us, hey, there's a new update coming. These are the things that are coming. So the relationship's been great to work with.
I'm excited about bringing BlueBeam to everyone and having everyone understand what BlueBeam can do for them. Because whether you're an architect, you're an engineer, or a sub, or an owner, BlueBeam has a tool for you.
So the next time someone asks you what is BlueBeam, you can tell them that BlueBeam Review is a powerful software application that fully utilizes the dynamic power of the PDF file.
The program itself, for what we do, is essential. I mean, it really is.